like I am what I advertise. Don't matter, you put it, we live, then we have to die. You might hate it, but you can't deny. See, everything that I've been doing got me looking like a mastermind. It's so game, but I vandalize it. I do.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, the OG, your boy Scratch, coming at you guys with another video today. Today we're going to be ranking every main objective in the not-so-new anymore game mode in Cold War Zombies Outbreak. Personally, I've been enjoying Outbreak a lot and have streamed it a couple of times on the channel, so feel free to tune into those when I go live. But today, that's not today's focus. Today we're going to rank the 5 main objectives in the game mode, as I feel like I have played it enough and the game mode's been out long enough that we can do so. Couple disclaimers, however. I do want to say that, one, this ranking is my own personal opinion and is more about how I feel about the objective itself, not necessarily how difficult they are. Though the difficulty can affect how I rank them, it's not solely on that fact. Two, it's also, this is made as of March 2021, meaning that if you're watching this in the future, there could be more objectives they add later on this year, but as of right now, we're only focusing on the base ones released at launch. And lastly, I just want to say that if you do disagree, feel free to comment down below how I and your own personal ranking yourself. With that said, let's stop my schizophrenic ranking and get into the reason why you clicked on here in the first place. Now, coming in at absolute last, dog water, complete trash place, Escort. Now, let me calm down for a second. None of these game modes are really so trash that they make the gameplay like eating broken glass. This one is just, in particular, just doesn't hit right with me. I find it pretty slow and boring at times, as you have to follow this Wally ripoff moving at Mach -6 as it follows this path where it gets rejected by the Dark Ether as it carries along a completely innocent little... what the heck even is that? A monkey? Yeah, besides that, the gameplay is really slows down at this point, and it's not too particularly difficult until the very end of it, when you can get a whole Harry Styles fan club size of a horde bombard you right before you're able to complete it. Not to mention the Avogadro's children constantly turning it off mid-path, causing you to have to leave the rover to kill those as they run away from you, which again just really slows down the pacing of the game. It can especially get difficult later on in the rounds once you start getting megatons flooding out the gates of heck, as I find them to be the most frustrating part of the game mode. Now, there are two different types of paths the rover can get. One where it will go into the portal at each stop point and get launched away, and then there's another where it just kind of stops for a second and then keeps moving forward, which happens to be the one that I got in this video. The latter can be less annoying as it moves a little faster, but it just doesn't change it enough to make any significant difference to me. Now, here's where I'm probably going to get a lot of disagreements, but I decided to put the biggest waiting game of the zombies at number 4 for a couple of reasons. First off, personally, I tend to die a lot more on Escort than I do in Holdout, seeing as with Holdout there's numerous difficult locations that you can be held up in. I don't find every one of them completely difficult. In fact, the only one I tend to struggle with a lot is the really small one in Galavia, I think it is, but you all know the one I'm talking about. Don't patronize me. Back on track, yes, I complained about Escort for being slow and boring, and yes, that does speak the same for this one. It really all just comes down to the fact that I tend to die more on Escort because there's really more against you than there is for you. With Holdout, you got decoys and monkey bombs to give you a second to breathe, and you got typically enough area to train around, except for that one map I mentioned. And not only that, but if you go down, you can just hold the revive or tombstone time bar to save yourself sometime till the end. Now, for specifically talking about that one room, this would definitely be at the bottom, but like I said, I just feel like I tend to survive more, or even just enjoy it more than Escort, although that might not be by much. It's just enough to keep it from falling to the bottom for me. Okay, on to our last timed objective. The next one to come is defend. Now, as much as I hate the timed objectives, I actually really enjoy this one. The main problem I tend to have with the other two is I just get bored and feel like it drags on, and I'm just dreading the imminent insanity my mind is going to go through just waiting for it to end. But not really the same with this one. You see, this one has perks about it that the others didn't, and that take it from being absolute trash to being actually intense and pretty enjoyable. For one, you typically have a really decent area to train around, the only exception being the one in Alpine, which even then still isn't that bad. This changes a lot because with the Escort you're forced to stay near the rover, else you can't progress, and with the Holdout the areas and locations are inside a building, so it's very limited room to move around and actually save yourself. Also, decoys and monkey bombs come in super handy here, as they allow you to not only run the timer a little bit longer, but it drags the zombies away from the machine, which does have a health bar in this one. Now, the only downside I can see to this is that the health bar is an actual concern with this one, unlike with Escort. The zombies will definitely be dwindling it down way more, and the fact that it's timed, which we've already discussed. Boss zombies can also cause a problem, but they cause a problem in every objective, so it's not really enough to sway the ranking of this one. Lastly, the best part is that it rewards you for doing good. If you're able to save a lot of health on the machine, you can literally just leave and head towards the beacon before the timer even runs out, simply because the zombies can't keep up and dwindle the health down fast enough before the timer runs out. But yeah, that's about it. Let's move on. So, again, from here on, the last two may be a little controversial to some people, but bite me. I don't care. This is my video. Get your own. The fact that this one doesn't require you to wait a certain amount of time already shoots it up the list faster than a squirrel with explosive diarrhea. Okay, that reference didn't really make sense, but my point is that the non-timed objectives tend to be the most favorable ones. Now, technically, this one does have a timer, but it's only for you to get the job done in that time. You don't have to wait it out, and honestly, if you can't grab the canisters within 4 to 5 minutes, just keep practicing, bud. You'll get it eventually. And by far, the best part about this whole thing is that you can just grab a vehicle and use that to carry you even faster. Now, it does deteriorate the health of the vehicle and can become a problem in the later rounds as you run into more Tempests who shut it off faster than your mom when you're grounded, but even then you can work around that. Even with walking, it's not too terrible, as every 6 kills or so gets you a special field upgrade that can disintegrate any zombies around you within a certain radius, and it's not hard to recharge, as you can just pick off solo zombies charging behind you. I also strongly recommend that you have speed color during this, as it does allow the placing of the canister portion to go a little faster. I think my main thing is that if you just pick this game up and know nothing, then yeah, it's going to be hard. You're not educated yet. But to an experienced player, there are so many different things that you can do to put the odds in your favor, and that's a big factor for hardcore zombies players like me. Number 1 is eliminate. No need to debate it. There's no argument. It's number 1. Deal with it. Goodbye. Okay, all jokes aside, I truly think that Eliminate is the best. Not only because it's really easy overall compared to the others, but it is so quick if you know what you're doing. For the purposes of this video and having enough gameplay time to talk about it, I opted to not use the death machine, and even then I still barely had enough time. But honestly, that's really what it comes down to, the death machine. It only costs 100 high grade salvage, which in the higher rounds is not that hard to get at all, and the best part is that if you have just 1 bullet left in your death machine, when you warp, it'll refill your ammo. At least it does at the time of this recording. I'm not sure if they will change that later on. But this essentially means that you can always have a death machine in your corner, and this thing shreds the eliminate boss like cheese on morning eggs. Now, there are different bosses you can get, being a Megaton, Mangler, and a Panzer, but the results are the same. Death machine equals shredded cheese. And I'm sure that there are people out there who genuinely struggle with this step and are sprinting to the comments to tell me how much of a loser I am, but I don't care. I stand by this opinion, and I know a lot of others do with me. The only negative thing that I really have to say is that it can be a little annoying to chase him down every time that he becomes immune, but if you play enough, you know where he's going to go, and you can already hit that way. Bottom line is, Eliminate is by far the best, and every time I get it, I sigh in relief, knowing that I have a round to rest and to breathe.
Got him on the run now.
Well, that's going to be it for the video. Again, this was my personal opinion, and all jokes aside, I would love to hear your guys' own rankings in the comments below. I do hope you guys have enjoyed my thoughts and opinions, and let me know what other kind of rankings or just any kind of zombies content in general you guys would love to see. If you like the videos, don't forget to show that support by clicking that like button and commenting what you enjoyed most about the video. With that said, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this in the future, and stay awesome.
I walk around like that nigga. Finger on the trigger. If a nigga wants some smoke, I let it chop.